Hello cardboard lovers, it's Cardboard Badger here. I hope you're doing well, and today we have a brand new standard legal deck tech for you with cards from Innistrad Crimson Vow. We are going mono blue zombies. It was a bit of a weird one, and there's a lot of things in here that aren't zombies, but we'll make them zombies. And all I'd like to say is the whole reason that this deck tech even exists is because of the kind comment on the previous deck tech. Thank you very much indeed to Fiery Clark. Very kind of you to drop a comment, because without your comment this deck wouldn't exist. There's no way I would have done a mono blue, so thank you very much indeed. And with that being said, if you would like the next deck to be something that you particularly are interested in, drop a comment below. Tell us what colour, what theme, tribal, whatever it is. You may be in the chance of the next deck tech being built around something that you've asked for. So, that being said, we will get straight into it with our creatures. We're starting off with a playset of Wretched Throng. For 2 mana, 1 and a blue, we have a 2/1 zombie horror with whenever Wretched Throng dies, you may search your library for a card named Wretched Throng, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. So early on, if this happens to die, we are going to be able to get a fresh one, which we will be able to play on our next turn. And at least if we happen to be a little bit light on creatures in our hand, this is going to help us refill it. Up next, we have another playset, a playset of Bloodline Pretender. For 3 mana, we have a 2/2 artifact creature, a shapeshifter. And as Bloodline Pretender enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, it will be zombie. And whenever another creature of the chosen type enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Bloodline Pretender. So every time a creature comes in, every time a creature gets duplicated, every time we get a trigger and we get a decay zombie, all of those are going to put additional +1/+1 counters on the Bloodline Pretender, and it will get massive. Up next, we have a playset of Falcon Abomination. For 3 mana, 2 and a blue, we have a 2/2 zombie bird. It has flying, and when the Falcon Abomination enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. So obviously for 3 mana there, we are going to have 2/2 in the air, 2/2 on the ground, and obviously the previous card we mentioned, this is going to trigger 2 +1/+1 counters on our Bloodline Pretender. So amazing card indeed. Up next, we have 2 copies of Dream Shackle Geist. For 3 mana, 1 blue, we have a 3/1 spirit. It has flying, and at the beginning of a combat on your turn, choose up to 1. Tap target creature, or target creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. This is purely here to lock down our opponents. If we have multiples of these out, it's even better, because if they're holding up their most important creature, we can tap it with our first Geist, and then we can lock it with our second one and freeze it. Really good card, and we have the opportunity of having this turning into a zombie spirit as well, which means we should be able to duplicate this even more, and again lock down more and more of our opponent's creatures. We're also playing 2 copies of Geralf Visionary Stitcher. For 3 mana, 2 and a blue, we have a 1/4 human wizard with zombies you control have flying. So now all our zombies that were on the ground are now in the air. This can be absolutely fantastic, just for the fact that we should be going ridiculously wide and straight to the face. So in addition to that, for 1 blue mana, we can tap Geralf and sacrifice another non-token creature, creating a XX blue zombie creature token where X is the sacrificed creature's toughness. This works amazingly well with the Bloodline Pretender, because that will be the creature that's going to be the largest in this deck, and if our opponent happens to destroy it in some form, we can respond with this and basically sacrifice it ourselves, and then gain a ginormous zombie, which is also flying, from the Bloodline Pretender. Amazing card. We're also playing 2 copies of Repository Scab. For 4 mana, 3 and a blue, we have a 3/3 zombie with Exploit. When Repository Scab exploits a creature, return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. So this is brilliant, because if we're duplicating this, we will be able to have multiple triggers, enabling us to bring back all the instant sorceries that we have previously played. Up next, we have 1 copy of Glasspool Mimic. For 3 mana, 2 and a blue, we have a Shapeshifter Rogue with, you may have Glasspool Mimic enter the battlefield as a copy of a creature you control, except it's a Shapeshifter Rogue in addition to its other types. So in theory, we are going to always target a zombie, but if we happen to need to tap down even more things that our opponents have, we can make this a Dream Shackle Geist and continue to lock down our opponent's board. On the other side, we've obviously got Glasspool Shore. If we're a little bit stuck on land, then we can play that. Glasspool Shore entering the battlefield tapped. Up next, we have 2 copies of Mirror Hall Mimic. For 4 mana, 3 and a blue, we have a spirit. You may have Mirror Hall Mimic enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, not the ones you own. It could be anything, except it's a spirit in addition to its other types. Also, for the disturb cost, for 5 mana, 3 blue, we have Ghastly Mimicry enchantment. We can enchant a creature, and at the beginning of your upkeep, create a token that's a copy of enchanted creature, except it's a spirit in addition to its other types. This is amazing because it's just going to keep producing more and more and more as the game goes on, which is absolutely ridiculous. And like I said before, we've got the opportunity of playing this not only on our side of the board, but our opponent's biggest threat too. And our final creature, we are playing 2 copies of Grazilax, Illithid Scholar. For 3 mana, 1 blue, we have a 3/2 horror with whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand, and whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. So obviously we're going to be going very wide. We have the opportunity of making all our zombies flyers. We should be getting in some form damage each turn, which is going to enable us to refill our hand, and we have the bonus of if our creature does become blocked, rather than it die, we can bring it back to our hand. Let's say a Wretched Throng, for example, or a Falcon Abomination. Then we can replay it on our next turn, which will enable us to get multiple triggers again and again, and get even more zombies. Amazing card. Up next, we are going to be going through our non-creature spells, starting off with a full playset of Necro Duality. This is one of a selection of cards that are going to enable us to multiply the number of zombies that we are going to be producing when we cast a spell. Necro Duality, for 4 mana, 3 and a blue, we have an enchantment with whenever a non-token zombie enters the battlefield under your control, create a token that's a copy of that creature. It's not legendary, so we can have multiples of this, which makes it even worse. And obviously, if we happen to play a Falcon Abomination and we've got one of these out, we will get an additional one, and then that will produce an additional Decay Zombie 2, and it goes on and on and on. The domino effect will just go ridiculous, and we will have a complete world of zombies. Up next, another card that is going to multiply the number of zombies that we're going to produce. We have 1 copy of Reflections of Lithjara. For 5 mana, 4 and a blue, we have an enchantment with, as Reflections of Lithjara enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, and whenever you cast a spell of the chosen type, copy that spell. So if you happen to have this alongside just one of your Necro Dualities, things get large very quickly. It is an amazing card. It's 5 mana, we're only playing 1, but in this deck it is thoroughly worth it. Up next, we have the 3rd card in our group of cards that are going to support multiple zombie generation. We have got 2 copies of Maskwood Nexus. I love this card. For 4 mana, we have an artifact with creatures you control are every creature type. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield, which is absolutely fantastic because all our Geists, all our spirits, they are all technically now going to be zombies. And if we happen to have the Maskwood Nexus out and also a Necro Duality, when we play our Geist, we are going to get 2. In addition to that, for 3 mana, we can tap this and create a 2/2 blue shapeshifter creature token with Changeling, which again will be a zombie, and that will then generate more +1/+1s for our Bloodline Pretender. We're also going to be playing 3 copies of Chill of the Grave. For 3 mana, 2 and a blue, we have an instant with this spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a zombie. And we tap target creature, it doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step, and draw a card. So this is going to refill our hand. It's going to do the same kind of job as the Dream Shackle Geist, and we will have the opportunity to play this multiple times thanks to our repository scab. And our final non-creature spell, we have 4 copies, a full play set of Flip the Switch. For 3 mana, 2 and a blue, we have an instant with counter target spell unless its controlled pays 4, and we create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. which is then going to trigger our Bloodline Pretender and make that even larger. That is our final card before we hit the lands. And the land base isn't the most exciting in the world. It is very easy indeed. We've obviously got the land on the back of the Glasspool Mimic. In addition to that, we have got 23 islands, and that is it for the land base. So there we have it. That is the entire standard legal deck tech with cards from Innistrad Crimson Vow. Mono blue zombies. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you do happen to produce this deck on Arena, let us know how you get on, or if you've changed it slightly. I'd be interested to know your take on this particular deck. Again, thank you so much for dropping a comment and actually enabling me to make this deck. It was a world of fun to do. And for the next deck tech, please drop a comment below. You never know, it could be the deck that we make. Give us a theme, give us a colour, whatever you like. That'd be great to hear your thoughts. Other than that, I'd just like to say thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel in any way, that'd be amazing, and there will be links in the description below if you would like more Cardboard Badger in your life. Other than that, I'd just like to say thank you for watching, and we will see you again soon here on Cardboard Badger.